mobility training with weights. This technique has been around for decades, and weightlifters and bodybuilders have often used this technique with a barbell, leaning forwards, where they're standing on a weight plate or something to make their feet higher, and they use the weight to pull them to the floor. So I'm going to replicate this movement using a ball. This is a 3K medicine ball. So if I was standing up on a box, then my feet would be higher than the ground, and if I was to bend forward, then the ball will pull my body further towards the ground. For me, this is sufficient because, you know, we're not all very flexible. So from here, then your body has to pull the weight back to the top. The problem with using this as a mobility training technique is not the technique itself. It's whether or not the movement is appropriate for you. If your hamstrings are tight, there's a very good chance that it's not their fault. Your hamstrings are actually only just stabilizing you in standing, so they're being pulled along by tight hip flexors. So if this is very tight, chances are this is very short. If I then use the weight to force my body into lengthening the hamstring, because when you lengthen the hamstring with weight in your hand, it has to control that movement, so it switches from preventing the movement to trying to control it instead. So if I add weight and I'm forcing my hamstrings longer, then actually what I might be doing is repositioning the hip further into a detrimental position, which is only going to lead to injury. So it's not about the technique and whether it's appropriate for you, it's whether or not you understand why you're doing something. If you understand what you're doing, and you know whether it's right for you or not, you can make much better choices as to the techniques that you're using.